square-mile city, so I feel like we can get them to backfill for those 2 days. And I've talked to them, and they seem to be in agreement with it too. So we haven't taken any time away from inspection.
I think you do inspections 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, sometimes on weekend if it needs to be. But you feel comfortable that you're going to be able to do this and keep up with both duties and?
Yes, sir. We've already switched to a every 30-minute schedule as far as scheduling our permits, our inspections. So, I mean, it's already to that point. So we've got, instead of having an hour time clock, we have a 30-minute time clock.
Marvin?
Uh-huh.
Can we maybe just double check with Karen that we don't have any FLSA issues with overtime in this plan?
I think we, Chief, didn't we run this through her?
I didn't run for her, Betsy, but under G7 for FLSA laws, it's the same thing that we used to do in Richland Hills where the on-duty firefighters work enforcement on their days off, because it's a completely different job class outside of the public safety piece.
I just want to run it by this other, there's different rules for volunteer firefighters versus actual paid firefighters. And it's all in review, I think. Yeah.
Absolutely, we can reach out. I don't think there's any issues there because it's a completely different job duty. And it's good salary.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Another question, Chief, it's going from 22,588 to 117,584. If we add additional personnel, why is overtime not going up?
I know it looks like there's a lot of people on the line.
There's what?
Did everybody mute for those talking?
Whoever's not talking needs to mute.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the way to start it's a bit of an anomaly. If you'll recall last year when we were first getting started, the original plan was to pay the firefighters on a stability pay model where they got the same paycheck every pay period. And we found out through legal that we're not able to do that. So firefighters work 2,940 hours a year to the average employee's 2,008. So all those additional hours impact their salary. Well, on our model for FLSA, we're on a 14-day cycle, and any hours they work over 106 hours have to be paid at overtime. So all of that money was being shown in the salary line item last year. This year, we have split it out to make it easier on payroll to keep it straight. If you were to look at our budget currently, you would notice that our salaries are tracking significantly under budget, and our overtime is tracking over budget. But in reality, when you combine those two, we're right where we're supposed to be. It's just an anomaly in the budget that happens with fire departments because of FLSA, and the whole reason we're splitting it out this way is to make sure that the right items are in the right places, so that it balances out at the end of the year, and it doesn't look like we're way under in one and way over in another. And so if you got a person that makes $50,000, $6,000 of that salary may be actually overtime for the year based on their schedule. What we've done is we've reduced the $50,000 in regular salaries to 44, and we put the other $6,000 in overtime. Actual unplanned overtime where someone was sick or something happened, we have a workers' comp claim, someone has to go to training off duty, something like that. That unplanned overtime, you can see in an overtime breakout budget that we have. That number is below $30,000 for the year. It's significantly different, and the remainder of that is that FLSA overtime that's part of the regular schedule.
Okay, and now John is standing here with a question or something, so we're gonna go with John for a minute.
Marvin, we didn't plan on this till paid till year 5.
No, year 3,
Year 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so
next year.
you feel comfortable that we'll have funds to cover this?
Yes, I did for this year. It wouldn't have happened if I hadn't gotten the CARES Act.
Yeah, okay.
It wouldn't have happened. We would have not been.
But CARES Act won't be there.
Yeah, we'll have money coming over into this on the CARES Act. And besides this year, it's gonna really look good on the budget because most of the fire department salary was paid through the CARES Act this year. But we can't take that forward.
Now we can't take it forward, that's my.
No, but it's still in the bank.
Yeah.
That's the important thing.
So Chief, on the, adding the additional position for that, again, when you do have vacations and other issues, you're okay going down the 30, we're still,
Yes, sir, that's
we're not gonna try to fill that fourth through part-time or anything.
No, sir. The whole intent here was to get to 4 shifts. I will not be your fire chief forever, but River Oaks' call volume has been within a couple hundred calls stable for the last 10 years. So an engine company will be more than adequate to provide service to the city as long as we maintain our mutual aid agreements with the small cities around us and Fort Worth. This will finish out the full-time operational staffing in the fire department. Honestly, the only other thing I would see in the future for you to take into consideration as the city redevelops and so forth, you may down the road have a need for a full-time fire chief. As the city manager was saying earlier, when Mr. Myrick reaches his retirement opportunity for the second or third time, I can't keep up. That guy retires more than I fly on an airplane. I'm not sure when that would be, but certainly the emergency management coordinator duties are something that a full-time fire chief could take under their belt. I assume those duties in Richland Hills along with fire chief and fire marshal. So that's very doable in the future should you guys decide that that's something you want to add or the future city manager does. But we would be fine down in the 3 when we have to, and it gives us the flexibility for us to send people to training. We've been very careful about getting some of our young folks through some certifications that they really need because we've had so much trouble getting those part-time people to work.
And you're back, I'm sorry.
Marvin, again, the plan for the council is to, what were you saying, a week from tonight, we were gonna do something?
If y'all, what I'm submitting tonight, if y'all want to look it over and let's come back on the 18th, I need to get it settled on the 18th so I can go to public hearing on the 25th. In other words, a workshop on the 18th, that's what you want.
Well, certainly, I guess I can go either way. Compared to all of the hours we've spent on budget in years past, to have just one meeting where we went over it,
Yeah.
seems like a big, huge reduction in hours. I think that would be wonderful. But I guess it's up to the guys
Well,
if they want to have that or not.
yeah,
I mean, it's your job to come together with the budget, just like you've done it.
that's exactly right. We got a city manager now, we've got to put our faith in him. And he's gonna be on the chopping block, not us, if it doesn't work. And Marvin has done a terrific job, and Paula and the department head, and he's done a lot of creative things, and we've got to be behind him and support him, and try to get him out here sometime before 10 o'clock at night.
Here.
I just want to make sure that we're back, got everything back on an even keel then, because we're looking at a $213,000 increase between the two departments, police and fire. We're that either talking about defunding, we're going up and I see that we have the need for that. But we can't do that every year. We got to